Hey, this is Howard from Catalinbread. How's it going, guys? I'm really stoked to be able to tell you about our newest pedal, the Katzenkönig. And you're probably going to ask, what is it? Well, we could describe it in a bunch of different ways. It's a fuzz pedal that loves humbucker guitars. We could say it's a distortion pedal that sings like a fuzz. Or we could say it's a fuzz pedal that's tight like a distortion. People at the shop, when they first played it, when I brought it in to show everyone, that's the reaction I got from people and at work, and so everyone was really stoked about it as well. But if you haven't seen last week's video, the first video we posted on it, that has actual musical examples in the band context. It should give you a good feel for what I'm talking about as far as its range of sound. Today we're going to go down and talk about what these knobs do and the whole Katzenkönig story, and if you stick with us for a couple minutes after that, we'll give you the backstory on why this thing even exists. Got 4 controls: input, gain, filter, and volume. So first I want to show you with input and gain all the way down and show you some of the groovy sounds we get with that. Great for single notes, it really sings. Can do chunky muted stuff. So that's the gain input down. Now the input is input sensitivity, and that's basically the gain at the front of the circuit. And both of them affect the overall gain, but they do it in different ways. You can use to match to pickups, and we'll have another video where we talk about some other uses of it, but right now I'm just going to show you what it sounds like when we turn the knob. So you can hear that the gain went up and it got chunkier and, you know, just a little bit more. Now the gain knob is in the middle of the circuit, and it's actually controlling the gain of the actual fuzz circuit, whereas the input controls how much of your guitar signal is actually getting to the fuzz circuit. So let's go ahead and hear this one. So with the gain up, it starts getting more of the fuzz character, especially with the input and gain up. So in general, the way you can think of this is if you have these two knobs at noon or lower, and you kind of want to, when you are getting used to the pedal, you just start see how they interact. But in general, let's get them above noon, and the pedal goes from a tight distortion to more of a fuzzy sound. Very fuzz pedal-like up there. In fact, you can almost do some of the fuzz pedal licks with that. For example, I'll have it set like this, and you can kind of do that sort of stuff. So a lot of range in these two controls to set your distortion or fuzz characteristic. Go from real light and sweet to real heavy, and where it gets that overloaded fuzz sound. This controls the filter control. It basically is the tone control for the pedal. So as you turn it up, it gets darker, and that should give you a clue as to where the inspiration for this pedal part of it came from. That's all the way bright. Dark. The sweet spot you can just find real quick. I generally like it there-ish, depending on the guitar and amp when I'm trying to play. Volume control is a volume control. And all I'm going to say about that is that when I worked on this, I tuned the volume controls so that you can turn it really down and still have the pedal sound real alive and juicy. Or you can crank it up and get quite loud and boost your amp. Maybe I overloaded my recorder there, but I had to show you. That's the controls on Katzenkönig. Very quick to get your sounds, but you have a lot of sounds you can get just from 4 simple controls. I thought I would share with you a little bit about the backstory of this pedal and why it even came to be. I've been saying that it's kind of part fuzz and part distortion pedal because it literally is. What this actually is a Tone Bender Mark II fuzz pedal rendered in silicon transistors, but with circuit elements from the Rat distortion pedal, hence the filter knob here and the whole output section. So essentially it's a Tone Bender Mark II fuzz with the back end of a Rat distortion pedal, which includes its clipping circuit and its filter circuit and its output buffering stages. It kind of was an accident how this came to be. I was working on something else actually, and long story short, this led to some experiments, semi-facetious actually, on the breadboard, and I tried it and I was like, wow, I think there's something here. I get a circuit up and I let it tell me what it wants to do, and it wanted to be this really interesting hybrid of fuzz and distortion pedal. So I tuned it with that in mind. It's like it's going to have the properties of a distortion pedal, which is, I associate with the distortion pedal tight, gain with a tight ripping sound that you can do palm mutes and chunky riffs and stuff like that with. And the fuzz pedal, which it really sings, and it's got that overload characteristic when you turn everything up. It sounds like it's crushing a little bit, but it can really sing. So that's it in a nutshell, or in a square box, or a rectangular box. Katzenkönig, half fuzz, half distortion, and lots of fun.